So you don't beat yourself up too much on that, because I bet most Sea of Thieves partners don't know that
I mean,
there's
yeah,
a
maybe.
Flameheart Junior, you know?
There's a Flameheart Junior.
Welcome to the official, unofficial Sea of Thieves podcast, a podcast dedicated to Sea of Thieves and other Rare games, but mainly Sea of Thieves. Rare released their final season of this year, and instead of giving us a big edition, Season 5 is mainly focused on smaller additions and quality of life improvements. This makes a lot of pirates happy, while others are a bit dissatisfied, especially when you consider Season 5 is also one of our longest seasons. Plenty of different opinions are floating around, so this is a great opportunity to discuss all of this during this episode. And to help me discuss these topics, I am assisted by my co-host.
Hello, it's Captain Blubber. I'm still very happy to be still the co-host of my own official Sea of Thieves podcast. I'm really excited for this episode. I'm thinking I'm going to be the more positive guy here around. Either way, I'm excited.
Great to have you on. One day it'll just be me. I'll take this over. Don't you worry, mate. But we also have an exciting new guest.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
That sounds like Sea of Concepts to me. So we've got another
It's your boy.
star. It's your boy. We've got a new star-studded guest. So welcome, Sea of Concepts. It's lovely to have you on.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, another big guest as well. So if you missed it, we had Fuzzy on, and we've had Davrim recently as well. And now we've got Sea of Concepts. So hopefully we can continue to get some awesome guests as we have Sea of Concepts here. We'll just call you Concepts for the sake of ease for the podcast. When we have our guests on, we usually have icebreakers just to get to know you a bit more. Just try and answer them as quickly as possible. So we'll kick them off.
Oh God! Well, is this timed?
No, it's not.
We can make it if you want.
No.
We can arrange it. So starting off with our first icebreaker, when did you start your channel and what made you choose to make Sea of Thieves content?
I believe I made the channel in December 2019. So actually almost 2 years ago. I think it was December the 19th. And the main reason, I don't know. I remember. My friend Sam and I, we used to play the game pretty much every day. We would hop on, steal forts. We were pretty much the PvP chads that you see rolling around nowadays. And we would just go on, sink people, take their stuff, have fun, have a laugh, troll people. And we were like, this would make entertaining content. Why don't we just record as we go along? It's not that difficult. Just hit a record button and then go and do what you usually do. And then, when you have the time, edit it, upload it. So we were like, that'd be pretty entertaining. It'd be pretty fun. So that's pretty much why the channel started.
Oh, that's really interesting. So instead of just saying, I'm going to deliberately make content on this, I'm going to have a plan of do this, and this, you thought, I'm already playing, let's just record and see what happens.
Yeah, pretty much. And we knew that purely doing like PvP content and trolling content, it would take a very long time to kind of gain traction and get popularity. So I was like, it would be an easy way to get our name at least out there and in people's mouths. Just do guides, because guides are, I guess you'd say, like generalizable content. Everyone can watch a guide, but not everyone's interested in PvP videos. So if you can get people of all like PvE, PvP, the both fan bases to watch your videos, then that would entice them to subscribe and then watch your PvP stuff when you eventually release it. Does that make sense? You kind of build an audience and then,
Yeah, it makes 100% sense to me.
So that's why we went that route.
Just to touch on this before we move on to the next question, you see a lot of your highest viewed videos or guides. Is it the Ashen Curse, the one that's most
I believe,
viewed?
No, I think that it's the top 3 ways to make gold. I think.
It's a golden video. Everyone's going to want to watch that.
Exactly. It is. It's coming up on 800k in only 10 months, which is kind of crazy. It's weird. All of my top viewed videos were 10 months ago. It was like 10 months ago, there was some crazy outburst or influx of players.
I wonder why that is. We'll touch on that later. So just moving on quickly, where does the name Sea of Concepts come from?
Oh yeah. It's kind of hard to grasp why my name's Sea of Concepts from the videos I do. Well, on top of the PvP and stuff that my friend and I used to do, we actually had a lot of ideas for the game, and he's very creative with updates and stuff. Like I'm the stupid one, and he would guide me back in the day, and we just had a lot of concepts for the game, and we were like, okay, let's get a fan base, hopefully get partner, and then hopefully be able to pitch these concepts to the developers. So Sea of Concepts was kind of just like, we can make videos on the concepts we have. And obviously the game's called Sea of Thieves, so it just kind of was like, Sea of Concepts, it makes sense. We're a Sea of Thieves channel. Yeah, it just kind of was like, we have a lot of concepts and ideas for the game. Sea of Concepts.
Perfect. Great answer. So, and your favorite game of all time, obviously, if it is Sea of Thieves, you can't say Sea of Thieves. It has to be another game.
Favorite game of all time. Well, the one that's been in my life the longest, aside from Minecraft, is Counter-Strike. A lot of people don't know, but I was a pretty competitive player before this. I played it for like 5 to 6 years, but I don't know if I'd actually say that's my favorite game of all time. One that my childhood, even though it was only like 2 years of my life, was H1Z1. H1Z1 was, if anyone out there played H1Z1 back in the day, they would know how kind of special that game was compared to what it's at now or where it is now. That game, yeah, definitely. That game was bloody amazing, and I loved it. It was great, but it's very sad.
Yeah, awesome. So it's nice to see like different opinions as we've had guests on quite a varied range of games here. So another one to add to the pile there. So thanks for that. And so what game would you make content on if Sea of Thieves never existed?
I don't know. Like I've debated going variety and loads of different things. I've got another channel which was supposed to be variety, which I gave up on. I just don't have time to game nowadays, really. But if I had to, it's such a basic question, but it would be Minecraft. Basic answer, sorry. Such a basic answer.
No, it's a good answer. Loads of Minecraft channels absolutely explode if you make good content.
Yeah, literally. The market for it is huge. It's such a diverse game. There's so many things you can do. So I think it just has to be Minecraft.
And it gets regular updates as well, which actually smoothly segues into our next question. Your favorite Sea of Thieves update. So just for rule's sake, it has to be a named update. It can't be like patch 1.16 where they nerf the sword.
Yeah, okay. So that's also a very tough question because there have been so many updates like Shrouded Spoils and Fort of the Damned. My favorite update? Damn. What's your favorite update? While I think about my answer, what's your favorite update?
Oof, it was going to be A Pirate's Life, but that's in my top 5. But Seabound Soul is my favorite purely because of the Tall Tale. It's just amazing, and Flame Art's awesome.
True, yeah.
Well, Pirate's Life for me. So much
Pirate's
potential.
Life, yeah.
I like how you said it's A Pirate's Life for me, just like the song.
Man, I have no idea.
We can come back to it later. Like if you want to have a proper think about it, because as we discuss this, it might.
It's also something that I don't expect a Sea of Thieves content creator to think long about. Like these discussions is something like we always have, and it's always on the top of my mind what my favorite and my least favorites are. So it's interesting that you're thinking about it.
Well, the least favorite, I can answer that instantly.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll go for least favorite.
Season 5.
Oh.
Wow.
This just got
juicy. Yeah. Season 5.
I am going to be the positive voice in this podcast, which I'm not used to.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm getting too excited about this. Let's move on. Okay, because this is going to be
Aye.
good. So, okay, so just segue to the next bit. Now we're warmed up, let's move on to the main topic and discussion points. As many of you know, Sea of Thieves winds down at this time of year. In 2018, we had Gilded Voyages and no real named update because we were in the midst of Shrouded Spoils. I love that update, by the way. 2019 was Festival of Giving, same for 2020. And in 2021, we finally have Season 5 and the Festival of Giving event later this month. It's safe to say we shouldn't really expect any decently sized content for the last month of the year or first couple of months. So just kicking right off, season 5 came out last week and was more of a Shrouded Spoils 2.0 or maybe 1.5. So concepts, how do you feel about the season overall? We'll go to you first.
I think I just did a video the other day on reacting to the season 5 trailer, and an analogy I used was this update seems like if every other update, let's say you're playing a story game, right? The other updates are the main quest. This update is a side quest. This is nothing really new. This is something which you can sort of play the game and never touch, right? I just think everything that was added was very mediocre and didn't really serve a purpose. If anything, I would say this is a pre-update. This is warming up for a bigger update to come, which is sort of why I'm still excited, because I see that this update is like it's setting up for a bigger update.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that is. We don't know what that is, but I just have a feeling like there's no way this season was just, here's some role play mechanics such as sitting down and sleeping. Here are some rats on your boat. Here's some burying your treasure and giving your voyage to other people. And here are some fireworks. I feel like this is a setup. It's got to be. Otherwise, I don't know what Rare were thinking. If I'm being completely honest.
That's fair enough. I sort of semi feel the same way, but as a sort of juxtaposed to that, Blubber, how do you feel about this update overall?
Yeah, well, I don't agree at all.
What?
I mean,
how?
I really love this update. Like the argument can be made that it's a long update for free additions what we get, but I don't see it as a side quest. Like all these additions are additions you can't avoid. Like fireworks and rats and setting is something you're always going to do on your voyage. Like, you're not always going to do it tall tale, but you're always going to see the rats. You're always going to sit down whenever you're idle or whenever you're making a coffee or something like that. And it enhances
I
it.
guess. Like, nah, man. I wish I could see it in your way. I wish I could be more positive about it. But the rats. Okay, yeah, they're a cool addition.
Yeah,
I've always thought they should add more wildlife into the game, such as like turtles in the sea or something, rather than jumping into the sea and seeing blank nothingness. So I guess it's kind of hopeful in that sense. But I don't know. It's just, man, your opinion's wrong.
That's fine. But also, we'll get more to it when we eventually get there. But also the burying treasure, like. I'm at the point that I'm almost done with my accommodations, and now it's there. Like, all right, what am I going to do? I don't really want to do those voyage anymore because I'm done.
Yep.
But I'm also thinking like this could also open up way more potential, because digging is now in the game. Like the shovel has a secondary function. They're probably going to use it in different ways, maybe in quests where we need to bury, I don't know, like magical gems in certain locations to activate.
Yeah, so like I was saying,
yeah,
it's a pre-update.
Mm.
It's building up. Like the burying. What's that good for at the moment?
See, I'm going to step right in here. See, on sort of Concept's point there, I do feel like Rare has this habit of introducing something too early, and it's meant to complement something else. And it's not just mechanics they do this. November 2019, we had the Seabound Soul. That felt like a prequel to the Flameheart story. We haven't had it since. Burying is another one where this is something that's been added and it's not really going to be utilized for another few seasons, I feel, at least, unless it's adding quests that involve it.
Yep.
If you're going to add a feature like that, especially when you've done a hodgepodge in this case, why don't you just add it when that new thing comes out to sort of accompany that? That's how I feel. We'll see what...
Yeah.
You need to get data and feedback too from the players, right? Like you
Isn't that
can't...
what they were doing on Insider, though?
Yeah, that's a very good argument.
Yeah.
But you still, you never know. Like the experience, like don't really like talking about insiders all too much. But the experience you got on Inside is always so much different than the experience you get when you actually play
You're
the
very
game.
right, yeah. Because they do
And
a lot
this-
of polishing and whatnot.
Indeed, and well, not only that, but also fireworks. Like I don't really want to touch upon how fireworks was in Insiders, but it is
I don't think
different.
you're allowed to talk about that.
No, and we will not. But
Yeah.
the experience is still different in the game because you're playing with players that actually
Yeah.
want to play the game as well and want to progress.
True.
And if you sync somebody and while they're syncing, you're shooting fireworks at them, like that to me that enhances the experience.
It's
That's
funny.
a new story.
It's very funny.
And it's a new story to tell in the tavern, and that's what Sea of Thieves is all about, like creating these stories. And
yeah.
fireworks adds to that, and you can only feel that when you're playing in the main game. So it's way better addition than that it looks on paper.
On to
True.
To sort of segue into the next part. Obviously, the main feature is burying in the quest board, which we sort of touched on just now. Obviously, I'm not really a fan of this. Blubber quite likes it, I see, but again, he did mention that he wasn't gonna really use it all that much now. I saw Falcor made a really good point on this. He said that he buried some loot and hopped onto a new server like 2 hours later, and he got the rep and renown or whatever it was for someone selling the treasure. Well, that someone didn't dig up the treasure and sell it. The server just closed, so it sort of defeats the magic of someone is actually picking up your treasure. So if a server does close, you do get the rep and renown anyway. I don't think it's as much as you don't get the benefit of the seasonal renown, the extra one, if someone does dig it up, but you do get what you would have if you turned it in. This is the sort of issue I have. I can bury stuff on an island that I don't want to take with me and post it when I go back to the outpost, but everyone finishes their season passes, which is next week. Why should we bury anymore? How do you guys feel about that? Should we just do it for fun?
I see a lot of potential with burying, as you said, in terms of voyages and in terms of content creation. But if we're just thinking from a purely casual player who comes home from school, wants to hop on Sea of Thieves, they've just done their homework, are they going to go and bury some treasure? Is it like... No, not really. Because as you said, the plunder pass will be done for most people within the next week or two if they're playing every day and just sailing. You get renown just for breathing in the game. So, oh man, that topic is a whole nother thing. The plunder pass. Oh God, don't get me started.
Don't worry, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'll keep it a little bit to the burying and the quest board, because what we always do is like you need to place yourself in new players as well. And for them, getting renown and reputation is way bigger than it is for us.
I guess
Aside from that, and we need to trust Rare on the data on that, obviously. Just look at the ledger system too. Like you play for 2 days Order of Souls and you're done for the month. Well, that can't be right. Like obviously there are a lot of other players doing Order of Souls that are not able to get that much ledger system. And the same is going to be with Renown and the Burying Treasures. I do agree. It needs to work for both parties. It needs to work for us players as well. And the quest board does need a lot of alterations. Like the rewards need to be a little bit better. Not only should you be able to get renown or reputation, but also, I don't know, leisure value, or maybe like 10% of the gold value to keep it, cool for as longer players as well. So I'm definitely agreeing that it needs more tweaks. But I also think that for some players, it's already pretty nice.
to sort of add to that point, and this is going to be really harsh, but I'm going to come around and say it like this. I really don't care about new players. Why? Because I'm being serious. Because every single update is something for new players. It's outposts, little pop-up banners as to where you are. It's seasonal renown. It's what's another one? Just trying to think now off the top of my head. And obviously, all of them aren't about new players because I can't think of anything. But it seems like everything is for new players. Rare need to focus on, yes, attracting new players. That's not by babysitting them. It's by offering them experiences where you can't get in anywhere else. And you want to retain those new players so they come and play your next season.
I have a question for you two.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
By adding more endgame content, isn't that also creating new player retention?
I think so.
And also keeping your long-term players, it keeps them interested.
Yeah, of course. No one wants to get on a game.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, no one wants to download a game from Game Pass and then see, oh, shit, I have to grind for 20 hours to get access to this endgame content. People don't like that in general, but you don't need to give it to everyone if your base game, and we know Sea of Thieves already has loads to do before you get to that point. It's about the journey, not the end game, and they do supplement that. So, why don't we add this content for end game players? Because these new players that do stick around will be rewarded in the future. Blubber?
Yeah, that's sound.
The question essentially was, by adding in more end game content, are you not appealing to newer players who maybe they're like, I want to go and make, because like personally, when I play a game, I want to try and get to the end game content as fast as I can. I'm not a speedrunner. I'm just like, I try and do it in the most efficient way possible. So obviously there are going to be people out there which they don't want to do that. They just want to come on and have fun. But then if they're coming on and having fun, which is, as Shiny Ray said, they're able to do with all of the content which has been added in from day one up until present, they'll get to the end eventually. But in the current state, they'll get to the end and be like, okay, now what? An Athena. Okay, they'll go and do an Athena. And then they'll be like, okay, that was fun. What now? and then they'll be like, okay, maybe let's go into Arena. Good luck with that. And then eventually they'll just, fall out of love with the game and move on. But by adding that end game content, they'll eventually get there and then be like, oh, you know what? There's actually a lot to do. I'm going to stick around. So isn't adding end game content just as important as adding content for newer players? Because us end game players, we're going to hop on, complete this new stuff within a week and then be like, okay, let's get back to what I was doing before, which realistically, what were you doing before?
World events,
fighting people.
Yeah,
like going on, oh, let's go and do some Reaper world events and get some gold, or let's go and sink some people and then you'll be in a naval battle for 2 minutes and then you'll spend another half an hour searching for someone.
Yeah, so moving on, just in the interest of time here, we'll touch on it quickly. I've spoken about it. Fireworks, I think we'll all agree they look fantastic. They sound fantastic.
Yeah.
But do they really need to have a point? Because largely they're just there for fun and to look pretty.
Yeah, no issue with that.
Or you see a Reaper runner and you fire the chicken firework, and that's what I would do. That's a use I can think of.
Yeah, I mean that's also a nice addition to the fireworks as well. There's no rules to it, like there's no commendations attached to it, but people are doing it because it's fun.
There are commendations.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, all right. You're right. Thanks for correcting.
There are commendations for fireworks.
Yes. You need to set another player on fire with fireworks as ship.
And everyone's favorite, Davrim's favorite, shoot a firework off in an alliance.
Oh yeah!
Wow. But no.
But I do get why the accommodation is there. The accommodation is not there to check off a box. No, the accommodation is there so you do it once and you're like, oh, this is a nice way of interacting with my alliance. Like I don't really do alliance all that much, if I'm being honest, but I did do it a couple of days ago. And we did Flameheart together, and at the end, when we defeated Flameheart, we were shooting fireworks as a sign like, oh, we're still friendly. and we're gonna, divide the loot. You get the skulls because you're the souls, and you give us all the treasure chests because we're gold hoarders. And then you keep firing fireworks on your way to the outpost, and it's just a fun
It's a fun way to
experience.
engage with players, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
I
what it is.
definitely agree with the fact that they don't need to serve a purpose. It's literally just something to add to the what's the word? It begins with I. Adds to the immersion in the game. It makes it that much more engaging and immersive. So yeah, they definitely don't need to have a point.
And we've seen how Pace did it, right? With those vipers like that firework that shoots out of the cannon, doesn't go really up into the sky and explode, but explodes as soon as it comes from the cannon. And he used that to blind the other crew. Like one person was firing fireworks while the other was firing cannonballs, and it seemed to work for PvP. So I don't know, that's another creative use of fireworks. In my
That's just
opinion.
something that they have to make sure doesn't become too not overpowered, but obviously you don't want to have 3 cannons shooting fireworks at you and completely ruining your day. Because I feel like that might get some very negative reactions.
Yeah,
They just need to monitor that. In my opinion, they might want to just monitor that.
I suppose that's the point. What I was going to actually touch on quickly is that I do feel like now you've got something else to shoot at other people that's non-lethal. Maybe people are just going to be more friendly on the seas. Like, oh look, I'm sailing past this ship. Let's just shoot fireworks at each other. It'll be funny. I don't need to fight you. It's just a laugh, isn't it? And I, you know what? I think it's going to work. I just got an overall feeling about that. We'll see how it pans out.
It's definitely something I do because. I mean, I'm sure you're probably the same. I don't engage unless they engage upon me. So I'm always down to see what's up. Go and talk to them. Be like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? Oh, doing a shout break a tall tale. Go and watch my guide. And then, yeah. So, but if I'm just sailing past someone, yeah, I'll bloody shoot a firework at you. I don't care. I'll shoot a firework at you, and then I'll run away when you chase me.
Of course, yeah.
It's funny.
It's a pointless tool that is just fun, and that's why I sort of gave this a pass in my review. I think the fireworks are beautifully done, so I'm not going to say why there's no commendations for shooting 1 million fireworks. They're just cool to look at and they sound good.
Yeah, for sure.
Blubber, anything to add?
Yeah, well, the only 2 things. Like, I don't really agree with the phrasing of they don't have any point. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me. Because it is a point. It's the immersion, it's the experience. Maybe that's just technicality how we describe certain things. And obviously, I want there's more potential for more fireworks. Like, we have a lot, but it's something they can add on, and I don't know, maybe even get some hippos firework. Could be nice.
I don't want to obviously take up too much time, but I did have this cool concept about maybe adding some kind of crafting system for fireworks, kind of like banners in Minecraft. You can combine certain fireworks to make a certain design, and there's thousands of possibilities, and it makes you more unique on the seas. It allows, obviously, more engagement and immersion. I think that was just something cool, but obviously it's very technical.
But that's really good, and part of it's already in the game in a way, because you have those fireworks that are just one piece, and then you have those, and even visually you can see they're tied together. I think with some tape or with some rope, but those are like the individual fireworks bound together. And if you find the smaller ones, which are more plentiful in the seas, like, it would be nice if there was a way, to tie a rope around it and get the bigger one. Well, it's a good idea.
It's a small idea I had. Yeah.
I like that idea. It'd be cool if you could do your own patterns as well. So, like, imagine sailing past the crew and they shoot a giant willy at you.
Okay. I didn't think about that aspect of it. Yeah, there will definitely be some phallic-shaped fireworks.
So, moving on quickly, sitting and sleeping. Overall thoughts on both concepts? We'll hear from you first.
Sitting and sleeping, yeah. I mean, it just like the fireworks adds to that immersion and engagement. I think they're cool. Now instead of going to the bowsprit of my ship and sit emoting, I will just sit on my, whatever you call it, the canopy at the back of the sloop and just kind of dangle my legs over the edge. It's yeah, it is what it is. It adds for more capability with content, I guess. It allows more short movies to be made and role play aspects. So yeah, I have no kind of complaints on it. I think yeah, it's cool. It's definitely something that needed to be in the game, and it opens up ideas for the future, such as sitting in a tavern. You go and sit down on the bench, and now you're playing solitaire on the table or something for 5 doubloons. I don't know, with another crew. It adds possibilities for many different things.
I would like to see that if you go to sleep in a certain place, you get to play Battletoads like a dream, like the original Battletoads.
To be fair, that's not a bad idea.
It'd be a good Easter egg, wouldn't it?
I mean, even if you just go to sleep and you wake up in a dream and you're doing, I don't know, some random quest which was generated through a random system, something random. I think that would be pretty cool.
I can see it being used in Tall Tales when we eventually get another one where you go to sleep and you have a realization as why Duke's voice changed. That would be like a good.
I didn't even know his voice changed.
Did you not?
I don't.
Wow, how can you avoid
I
that?
know little to nothing about the lore in this game.
Shame, there's so much.
Yeah, I know. Considering I'm a content creator, I probably should know, but I don't know. The only thing I know is why or how the Fort of the Damned came about. That's it.
So you don't beat yourself up too much on that, because I bet most Sea of Thieves partners don't know that. I
mean, yeah,
there's a
maybe.
Flameheart Junior. You know.
There's a Flameheart Junior.
Are you being serious? You just winding me up now.
No, you said that on purpose. You knew I'd ask. There's a Flameheart Junior? Am I supposed to know this?
Well, probably not, because there's probably a few Sea of Thieves partners that know about
Is
that.
it the Servant of the Flame?
We don't know.
Not really. We don't know.
We don't know.
I feel like it makes sense, doesn't it?
Falcor thinks it is, and his word is gospel, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the Reapers being the quote-unquote Flameheart faction, it makes sense. It would make sense if, his son, whatever, was, the leader of it, get Daddy's attention and whatnot.
I mean, we won't get into the nitty-gritty of it, but they could also be loyal to Wanda, but obviously that's a different
True,
topic.
Very true. Yeah, that's a conversation for a whole different day.
We'll segue back into it. Blubber, sleeping, sitting.
Yeah, no, I agree with concepts. The only and actually adding a dream is nice. There's so much possibility to do that. The only thing I'm disappointed about is health should regenerate a little bit faster when you're sleeping.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the only thing.
So I hope we can add hammocks below deck on the galleon and the brig, so everyone can have a nap. I think that would be really good for immersion again. But yeah, I feel the same way about you. I'll use it a lot as a content creator, but people are going to get bored of it, I think. But anything to add, either of you?
I don't think people will get bored of it. Imagine, you can carve your name into the side of your boat to give it to give your boat a name, or that you could. I don't know if this is along the lines of a captain. Sorry, C-word update. Maybe. Like ship curses. You're sailing around and your ship is giving off an aura, and it's kind of one of those grindy things for the big flashy curses. But yeah, just more kind of customization would be great. I think that update, if it ever comes out, would be, I would say, game changing. I think people would use it more than you think.
Fair enough. It's weird that you bring up ship curses, because I do have a video planned on that. Yeah, so
we'll stay hush on that then.
We'll stay hush. No, it's you raise a good point. Hopefully, we can see it implemented into more customization and stuff. Blubber, anything else to add, mate?
No, just I think that we're getting a lot of nice ideas from concepts over here, like carving a name in the ship, like the name of your lover in the mast. That's awesome. I'm gonna do that if I had a lover, but Yeah,
Pamela Anderson.
I'll just carve your name, Ray.
That's fine. After that last outro video, it's clear there's a bromance going on.
Oh
So
yes. Oh, that one started a long time ago. Don't you worry about that.
season 2 that was, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so on to my favourite tool, and I have to say, simple idea, but in execution, it's really good. Cannon rowboats. They look and feel great. How do we all feel? I tell you what, I'm going to go first because I'm the host today, so fuck you both. I think this is an amazing tool. The only issue I have with it is that I can see people running even more now that they can drop the robot off the back and shoot at you and distract you. That's my only concern with it, really. But stealth plays have also been buffed, so there's that as well.
Yeah. You know what? I'll let Blubber go.
Oh, I don't really have much to add. Like it's a nice addition for all the obvious reasons. Sneak plays are more powerful. You have an extra cannon. Like I did test it out. I have been in PvP while I'll be using the robot cannon like attached to the sloop, and then we just have two cannons. It's a bit tricky sometimes because you are far away from the wheel, and most of the times you do want to be on the wheel to keep that angle because that's really important. Keep your angle in PvP on any ship. But there are situations where we're like, all right, hop on the cannon rowboat and we'll have double the firepower, and that worked well. So and as a robot itself, it's also pretty balanced because aiming is quite hard because of the feedback you get. So it's not really OP if you're
when you shoot it knocks you back, right?
Yeah, and it's quite difficult. So you definitely need somebody manning the oars as well if you want to be successful with that. So yeah, no, that's my 2 cents.
I mean, I only played the day of release. That's the only Sea of Thieves I've played recently, just the day of release. I played for 2 hours and I did a Tall Tale speed run. So I've not really tested out this update all that much. But from just kind of thinking about it, cannon rowboats, as you said, very simple idea, but well executed and definitely a positive addition to the game. I guess, yeah, as you said, the only real negative could be people running away and dropping it off and trying to chain you or messing with you, whatever. But I feel like a lot of Sea of Thieves players aren't smart enough to do that. But at the same time, it adds a whole new dynamic to the game, as you said as well. Sneak plays. You're doing the Fort of the Damned. Now there's just a random rowboat hammering you with 4 people on it, or there are 4 cannon rowboats surrounding your ship, just completely. But in so many, there's so many possibilities for it, and it makes you need to be more aware. And yeah, personally, I would say one of the greatest additions that they've added in the past couple updates.
Okay, that's cool. So we're all agreed that cannon rowboats are pretty awesome then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, then we'll move swiftly on. Storage crate changes. Fantastic in my opinion.
Yep.
Just made my life a whole lot easier. Looting and starting up is just so much easier. Whoever thought of this needs a pay rise. Whoever coded it has done it beautifully as well. Only concern is that solo sloopers are getting shit on more. Every single thing that comes out just seems to debuff the solo sloopers, which makes it on launch it was difficult. Now it's really hard if you come against a crew with even an extra player over you, unless they're terrible.
Do you mean that in the sense that now every ship's going to have a lot more supplies? Is that the way that you're saying it's affecting solo sloopers?
No, so someone gets on board with a storage crate, kills you once, they take all your supplies from that time easily. I've done it. I did it the other day to a duo sloop. They weren't very good players. Obviously, they're quite new. Took all their supplies before they could respawn, and they had a lot. Yeah, with one crate, and they were done.
Yeah, completely just incapacitates them. They can't move. They're just they can move. They're like, okay, we have our pockets. We have 3 bananas now, and 5 cannonballs between us. What do we do?
They didn't even have any bananas. Nothing. The whole lot was gone within 30 seconds.
I just mean like in their pockets, like on what they have on their character. It's crazy. I don't know how you regulate that though.
It's meant to be longer if you use it on an enemy ship, but I didn't really notice a difference a whole lot. It obviously is longer, but maybe if you've got loads of supplies, it'll be hard to clear you out. But if you're a solo slooper and you get boarded by a galleon, your supplies are gone.
Yeah, can you remind me? Does it take the whole chunk or the whole stack, or does it take like 10 cannibals at a time or 5 bananas at a time, and you have to keep?
No, you press a button or hold it in this case. Don't turn off the hold button feature. I just have to press, and you'll see the little loop go round.
Yeah,
It'll be longer the more supplies in there.
Yeah.
But when it's finished, it will take everything as long as it can fit in the crate. Say if you've got too much in your
Jesus.
crate already, it'll leave a stack of items, be it worms or bananas or something. But it'll take the whole crate. And you can do it to other
Wow.
storage crates as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Wait,
also
so
a great addition, by the way.
does it take? So let's say you use it on a cannonball barrel. Will it take just cannonballs, or does it take cannonballs, blunderbombs, firebombs,
Everything
etc.?
everything in that barrel, fireworks included,
Everything.
will go when you finish that.
That's
as long as it will
crazy.
fit in your crate. And you can take it
Okay.
from cannibal crates, fruit crates, and wood crates. That will all go in as well.
That sounds a bit crazy.
It's powerful. It's very powerful.
Yeah, maybe that needs to be changed to just one type of what's in the barrel. So you do a full, whatever you'd call it, a full cycle of taking stuff out, and it only takes the cannonballs, and then you've got to do it again for the blunderbombs, again for the firebombs, then for the pineapples, then the pomegranates, and whatever.
We'll see how it plays out in the next few months, but
there'll probably be a couple changes to it.
Yeah, between that, blunderbombs, chain shots, etc. Solo sloopers are just having a bad time, and it will always get like that.
I mean, it's the hard mode of Sea of Thieves, isn't it?
It was the hard mode,
So
and now it's getting dumpstered on by new
It's
players
the impossible mode.
just because they have more people, and you can't make a single mistake. Even
Yeah,
if you don't
yeah.
make a mistake and you just get one bulge, your game over.
Yeah, many times, or I remember this one time, I was being chased by a galleon, and this was before obsidian drops. They had the obsidian figurehead. Can't remember what other cosmetics, but the obsidian figurehead was enough for me. Jumped off, tried to board them, all brave vanguards with ferrymen, and I was just like, you know what? I'm anchoring my ship. I died, went back, anchored my ship, and just said, you know what, guys? You can have my loot, because there's no way I'm winning this fight. It's a 1 versus 4 against players who are clearly experienced, and sometimes you just got to cut your losses. And sadly, that's just how it is. The numbers game is that big in this game specifically. If someone has numbers over you, even if they're worse skilled than you, just the fact that they have pure numbers and reviving and whatnot, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Blubber, anything to add about these storage crate changes specifically?
No, I kind of agree with everything's being said. We also need to, give it some time to see if tweaks are needed. I'm personally pretty happy how it is. And also, it's also easier to leave presents behind on outposts when you're done with your session. And that's the only thing I want to add.
Yeah,
True.
no, that's very true actually.
Yeah, so instead of like just logging off now, I will empty my supplies and leave.
Yeah,
them.
you're more.
Oh
you're
no,
more,
I
more
just log
inclined
off
to do
instantly.
that.
I'm not that nice. Go get the supplies yourself.
Even the 10
I love
seconds.
it. I love it when I log in and there's a storage crate, but I'm not doing it for you.
All right.
You know the give a take a penny, give a penny, take a penny. You'll just take a penny.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so moving on to the new island changes. What does it mean for the future? For the listeners who don't know, Thieves Haven has had some new traps added to it and a couple lifts.
It has.
Yep. You've missed out on a lot, my friend. Old Faithful has got a new lift. Plunder Valley's got some new ladders, which is just pretty underwhelming. And Kraken's Fall's got some new ladders and a new bridge as well. So,
Oh wow.
so these are a lot easier to navigate.
I love it that our guest is so prepared.
Hey, this circles back. Obviously we'll find out why you hate season 5 so much. But I think the actions speak louder than words in this one. But yeah, again, we got to have Falco on the podcast. But he did make a video on this that he thinks it's going to be something more, especially because the spike traps are just in a random place. So maybe it'll be a tall tale or a voyage in the future. But overall, I like these changes. I think the traps are never going to get me killed because you know where they are. They never change. But the lifts are fantastic, especially on Thieves Haven. It's going to make those Athena runs that much less painful. Concepts. Since you just found out about this, how do you feel about it in concept, should we say?
I mean, from what you've said, it sounds positive, especially on Thieves Haven. I don't know where the lift is.
There's two in the middle, so one takes you up to the caves and one takes you right to the top. You know where you used to have the overhanging bit of cargo, the cargo lift there, from the top. That's where they are, opposite each other.
Okay, yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, that definitely just makes the game just feel a bit more fluid and less. Oh, now I've got to run all the way around. Yeah, that sounds great. I think definitely islands have been the same way for a very long time, and not many alterations have been made. So I definitely think that it's great additions, and I mean, one cool idea. I know this is not completely off topic because it still relates to islands, but a cool boss they could add would be a big ass crab with an island on its back. An island on the certain map becomes unavailable for some time. It's a world event now, and you have to go and defeat this big ass crab which emerges from the sea, the island on its back, a bit like the crab from Moana, you know, with all the gold on its back.
Wax emotion crawlers on the back of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And they can board your ship, whatever. I don't know. I just think that would be a pretty cool thing. If they're going about the changing islands route, maybe that's a possible small hint at a future island boss. Who knows?
No, it's an excellent point, and I'd love to see something like that implemented as well. Blubber, you had something to add there?
Well, only that I had a very similar idea, only instead of a crab, it was a turtle.
Oh, like Stephen King. There's the world turtle from Stephen King. Is that reference lost on both of you?
No, I know what you're talking about, but that's not how I was thinking. It just feels more natural as an island, you know, with the back of the turtle. That's the reason why.
Just to add on to that sort of idea, two things I'd like to see, and I'm being genuinely serious now. Old Faithful would be awesome if it got hit by a meteor, because you'd have...
We get some Fortnite ideas.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to happen to all islands apart from that one, because no one likes Old Faithful. But imagine
no one likes Old Faithful.
Imagine if a meteor did hit it, because in the lore, the Wilds is known for having lots of comets landing in it. Imagine if it hits the center of Old Faithful and it creates a crater in the middle that water fills in. So then you have sort of these high sides of the remains of Old Faithful, with obviously all the defenses intact. But you've got like a basin of water that you can sail your ship into. And think of it like Thieves Haven, where it's just a giant bowl with land on the top, and your ship can be parked in the middle. I think that would be a cool idea. And the second one is if the storm goes over long, sort of large islands or tall islands, it should have loads of lightning strikes while the storm's over that, because you know how lightning seeks the shortest place to the ground. So say the storm's over Thieves Haven, when you're on top of that, the lightning hits pretty much everything while it's going over there, just to add this dynamic where the weather's affecting the islands, just to make them feel a bit more lively and unique.
That sounds good. Again, it's immersion, isn't it?
Yeah. Imagine being on Wanderer's Refuge and, you know, old Horatio gets yeeted by the lightning. Think how cool that would be.
Just insta-killed, free world event, done.
Insta-killed by the weather.
I think that would be a cool kind of aspect, though, because you'd obviously make it a fucking 0.05% chance of it actually hitting the boss.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's still possible would be great.
Yeah, imagine if the storm passed over Flameheart and he's like, oh shit, I can't deal with this, and just disappears and lets you have the loot, you know, because he can't see you anymore.
It's just like, oh, fuck off, I can't be bothered. You win for now.
Anything more to add before we move on to the next point, guys?
I'm good.
Nope.
Cool. So we spoke about it a little bit before, so we'll touch on it again. Rats, again, ultimately pointless, but is a step in the right direction when making the world more alive. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yeah.
On that sort of... No, you go ahead. You had a point to say.
No, I mean, as I touched on earlier, I think just definitely more wildlife in the sea, because currently you jump in. If you let's say you're in the wilds, you jump in the sea. It's just a big murky brown nothingness. You just have God rays in the sea, and that's it. And then you get a shark and you kill it and you're alone again. Or you let it come with you and just deal with it biting you so you have a friend. I don't know. But I just think turtles, fish, maybe some dolphins, or on the island I don't know if they do have this. I've never noticed it. If so, crabs, just little crabs walking around on the beach, birds in the trees. I understand that it's like potentially causing server instabilities or FPS issues. I don't know, but I just think adding more animals into the world would just again make it more immersive. So that's my opinion. I think just adding more stuff like that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I feel like the servers are on the absolute brink at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been very laggy recently. That's another point for another day. But Blubber, what animal would you like to see the most in the game?
Bears.
Oh, I know. Oh,
What?
I was expecting hippos.
Hippos, of course.
Got me there. A fresh water. If we had a new region with like more rivers and stuff to encourage use of the rowboat, hippos would be a great hazard. I think. Genuinely being serious now.
Yes, but then does it stop being a pirate game?
I mean, there's pirate. I mean, this is based on the golden age of piracy, but pirates obviously existed in the Mediterranean, and hippos from the Nile, which goes onto the Mediterranean. So I guess you could push that.
Yeah,
we have the crocodile ship, so come on.
True.
It's just one small step to hippos.
That's very true. Yeah. So are we all square on that point? Rats, they look cool. Ultimately pointless, but makes the game feel more alive.
I think also the fact that they've made it a setting that you can turn rats off kind of begs the question of why did you add them if you can turn them off, or why
get your frames back.
Take your frames back, I guess.
Some people have musophobia, or whatever it's called, fear of rats.
Right. I've also heard of people being absolutely terrified of the megalodon when it bites their ship because of the amount of rows of teeth it has. I don't know what the phobia is called, but I remember there was a discussion on the forum or Reddit a while back about accessibility and changing the look of the megalodon or whatever. So I guess that's valid. Yeah.
Megalodon teeth slider, so you can have most teeth, half
no
teeth, no teeth. It just gums your ship.
Well, they have it in
that'd be pretty funny.
In Grounded too, right? Like a lot of people have arachnophobia, and in Grounded, there's a slider on how terrifying the spiders are in that game.
Oh,
so.
Keeping that up, I want to be terrified by the giant spiders.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crank it all the way up. The hippo slider. Cute hippo, terrifying hippo.
If you put him on lowest, it is literally Captain Blubber's model from Banjo-Kazooie. But if you put it on highest, it's like the most angry, like scarred and horrible hippo they could absolutely muster in the Unreal Engine.
That would be awesome.
Awesome ideas there. I would love to see both of those. I actually quite agree with the slider there for sort of things in the game. Accessibility is always a nice thing, even if it doesn't affect me directly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another topic, they covered this in the podcast quite heavily. But sort of moving on now, the new shanties. This is something I almost forgot to put in my review, even though it's one of my favourite bits. They finally seem to figure out in Haunted Shores how to fix the RAM issue. Because if you don't know and you're listening now, they originally ran into an issue where essentially the Xbox or your PC is streaming the song to you. And that's very RAM intensive, but someone magicked around it. I can't remember who it is. Yep. So if you think on the original Xbox One, it has 6 gigabytes or 5 gigabytes of usable RAM. It's got 8 in total, but the OS uses a lot of it. So they were running into issues where they could only have 4 shanties at launch. So now we've got, 2 rows of it? It's like, how many is that? Like 15 maybe? 14?
You tell us.
No idea.
Okay,
this is the first time I hear the technical side, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah, so we had 4 at launch, then we had 7 with Haunted Shores. Then Pirates
8
5.
on each page, right?
8 on each page. It must be 16. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we've quadrupled in 3.5 years, which is good. So there's going to be more coming soon, hopefully. How do you feel about the new shanties, guys? Do you like them? Are they crap?
No opinion. Haven't played.
All right, I have quite an opinion about this. I like them, and I'm sure we'll see more. But you're also like, I'm reading it in the script, like what should we have next? And I know there's like, I'm a Rare fan, and I know they have a pirate history, and there's so many pirate tunes from past Rare games, and even
Mm.
unreleased ones, like Project Dream for the SNES, like the Grant Kirkhope, who doesn't work for Rare anymore, but he made a lot of awesome pirate tunes, and a lot of them came over into the Banjo-Kazooie games, but there's still tunes that are not used, and I was like, I'm sure Robin Beanon can make a nice shanty of that and implement it in the game. So those past songs are getting dug up and being reused for Sea of Thieves, and I would really like to see that.
See, with I think we've obviously Robin did a really good job with the initial soundtrack.
Yes.
But Chloe, I don't know if she's still an intern, so Chloe, if you're listening, I do apologise if you've been promoted. She's coming in as well, and they seem to have bounced off each other really well, and they're producing some amazing stuff. Obviously, the soundtrack for Pirate's Life, you've got these shanties. But, sorry, circling back, Robin's expertise, and he has obviously arranged some other themes, like the Halo and Gears of War theme, Ori, etc., Fighting Frogs. There is really no limit to what they can add. They can have, themes from Banjo-Kazooie, from Conker. You can have other Xbox studios. The sky's the limit, and I really want them to.
Well, keep it piratey, right?
I mean,
I don't want to be Halo. Yeah,
that's true.
And
maybe one exception.
Come on, we could. They're just shanties. We can have. All these franchises, as long as the song's good and it's done using the official instrument, the piratey instruments, I think it should be fine.
I mean, yeah, talking about franchises, obviously just worked with Disney, didn't they? Someone I remember in my stream ages ago was like, why did they do Yo-Ho when they could have done, I think Davy Jones has a shanty or a song or something.
Yeah, so you got Davy Jones's theme. He's a Pirate is another one, which is dun 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 dun. Oh, that's been copyrighted shit. I'll stop doing that. And there was another one in the actual thing. Wits End, they actually play. I know the names of the songs because I listen to them on my work. I'm a nerd like that. At Wits End they play, and there was another one. It's the main thing they use in the trailer, and I can't remember what it's called. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But
yeah, so I guess just like if they're obviously partnered with Disney, why don't they add more? What realistically, what's stopping them? Obviously, there's an immense amount of work that would have to go into it. Obviously playing it on the concertina. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And the drum and whatnot. But realistically, other than that, what's stopping them?
I don't think it's the issue of the musicianship here, because they have all the instruments and they've got the talent. The issue is the licensing bureaucracy that comes from licensing music in general. And House of Mouse, but Disney are notoriously some of the biggest assholes when it comes to their IPs. And I used that term very literally. I could only imagine the nightmare of getting the licenses to what's it called, A Pirate's Life, to use that just. Melody would have been a nightmare for the lawyers at Rare, Microsoft, and Disney. So yeah, that's probably why we don't have more, because the amount of effort that has to go into just getting licensing for a single song.
Damn. Well, then I guess that makes a lot of sense.
And it would be expensive as well. Like, probably not worth the cost. I think, Pirate's Life would have cost a lot of money from Microsoft for the licenses. I imagine they've made that money back because of how popular Sea of Thieves is. But that's a tangent for another day. Blubber, anything to add before we move on?
Nope, let's crack on.
Oh, actually, a quick one. This update could have really done with the violin or the fiddle, whatever they had in the E3 2016 trailer. We're still waiting on that one. And apparently there was models data mined for that, but I don't know how true that is.
Oh, yeah.
But that would have been a good time to add those. I know it would be more recording on Robin's part, etc. But it would
I feel like
time.
A new instrument would be very cool.
Yeah, kazoo.
A kazoo.
Just playing Spiral Mountain on a kazoo.
Yep, you read my mind.
Harmonica or something would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
More instruments, Rare. Crack the whip on Robin. Get him to, give you a one-man band.
Because imagine that you're all sat. You sat down on an island on some benches around a campfire with a random crew playing the harmonica. That's a story and a half. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That captures the spirit of Sea of
You need
Thieves, in my
some. I
opinion.
feel like you need. No, I guess the drum is the kind of, and the banjo are the chill instruments, whereas I feel like the hurdy-gurdy and the one I can't say are more upbeat. I don't know.
Yeah, I find
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree as well. So obviously, just in the interest of time, events. How are we feeling about them? Concepts, you go first.
Not happy.
Why?
I mean, come on. The most recent event, the Feast of Bounty. All you had to do was go and kill some chickens and cook it. Like, realistically, not great. And I think there are way. Oh, don't get me started. There are way too many alliance events. Way too many. There's way too much weight on being in an alliance in this game. I feel, and they keep. I understand they're trying. The aim of the game isn't PvP or alliancing or whatever. The game is pirate engagement, and I guess driving PvP through events would be very controversial with the majority of the player base, I feel, being more friendly than offensive. I just think some of the events are so lackluster and so like someone was just at a meeting and they said, "Oh, you know what we should do for an event? We should make people cook food." Boom, there's your event for a couple of weeks. Like, I think there's so much more that they could do, and a lot of them have just been very, very boring. Like the Champion of Souls one, or whatever it was called, where you had to go and defeat ghost ships and whatnot. Like, it's nothing crazy. And I think considering a lot of these events are quote unquote mid-season updates, and the event will last you a week maximum. They need to do something else. I don't know what, because I'm not a game developer or something like that. So I understand it's a really easy job for me to say do better events, but it's a lot harder to come up with a concept and then develop it and make it smooth and make it run well. But I think, considering a lot of the events are mid-season updates, or there's like three events a season, I think a lot more effort needs to go into them personally, because it doesn't keep me captivated. I'll go on, do the event, get the title, bugger off until the next one, because I've completed the Plunder Pass, I've completed the season, and realistically, I don't have much more to do anymore. So I think the seasons need to be more content in the seasons, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Blubber?
Yeah, no, I agree too. That was also my main argument of my season 5 review. Like, I like the additions, I really love them, but seasons would be so much stronger if some of those additions came in the latter half of a season. Like fireworks could be at the end of season 4, and reds could be at the end of season 1, just to give us something else to keep the season going, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the events themselves, like the thing is, like, the teams are set up in a way that they have like the big additions, the new stuff in the beginning, and all the rest that's coming, including the Emporium, is stuff that was already in the game. Like buying cosmetics are already in the game, completing those tasks for those events is already in the game, and that's how their teams are set up right now. So even though I want more events that are different, like a Skeleton Mech or a Ghost Mech event in October, that could be halfway the season. It's not the way they're working right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think they should throw it around and make seasons a bit more stronger. But I think the question now is like, all right, we are giving you this, and that's all we can give you right now. Do you want it? Yes or no? And then the answer is, yeah, sure, give me that event. I'll do it.
Yeah. I think the seasons are very lopsided in a sense. They throw everything at you, and then they hope it will last with a small hot fixes along the way and an event to keep you going. But I think that's just not the case, and they need to work on their events, because of it, that Because essentially, isn't that what keeps people involved with the update? Because we can all agree here, you're done with the new season within maximum 2 weeks. You've finished it.
I would say that's been true for the last 3 seasons. 1 and 2 had more replayability,
Yes,
despite being
I agree.
not as good content in quotation marks. We'll discuss that shortly, but yeah, I agree what you're saying there, Concepts.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add before we do move on? Everyone knows my feelings on events, so I'm just not going to say it again. Blubber, anything else?
Nah,
No, go on.
I'm good.
No. What's your opinion on events? Dumb it down for us.
I really don't like them. Just in the most ungrateful way possible. I know someone's obviously working on these, and it's their job too. They're not for me. I don't think they add anything to the game, and I don't think it's fair to say to us as paying customers, as many of us are, here's your event. Build Rat Adventures died for this. No more Reapers runs. You get to cook food, or you get to kill skeletons, as you always do. We'll just reward you for it. We don't need an event for that. Just add more cosmetics for doing those things on the reg. But yeah, that's me.
Just to add on to that real quick, I think they need to do more time limited cosmetics for the events, rather than the title at the end being time limited, and then let's say. What was it for? The Champions of Souls one, where you got the Order of Souls weapon cosmetics.
Yeah.
Right, because they're purchasable right now. Why didn't they just make it for the event? You do the event, you get the rewards, and then they're gone. You can't get them anymore. I don't understand why they have to keep bringing stuff back. Even Obsidian drops, yeah, that's fine, whatever. But I think they just need to understand the impact it has, I guess. Just keep stuff exclusive. And I think that would also drive players to come on and play more, make a harder event with time-limited stuff, and you'll keep people interested.
You do have people on the other end that say, "Oh, I can't. This isn't a full-time job. I want to take breaks from the game," which is fine. But at the end of the day, I know what you're going to say, and
it's just a game, innit?
It's just a game, and if you don't want to play, and if you don't care that much to hop on and get it, then you've only got yourself to blame.
Exactly.
Blubber, I'm sure you've missed stuff that you regret not getting now.
No, I never missed anything, man.
We know that's not true.
I certainly do.
What do I miss then?
You haven't got the golden sailor hat?
I do.
No, you don't.
There's a golden sailor hat.
What do you need to do with the golden sailor hat?
It was for one of the mercenary voyages.
I have that. I've done.
You know what I miss? The Wandering Reaper hull, or whatever it is.
Yep.
And the sails. I didn't bother. I was like, I can't be bothered to do this. And now I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, that's the most gorgeous ship set. I want it right now. Give it to me. But I understand if they bring that back, all of those players, as minute as it might be, they're going to be pissed. And that's not a way to make some people happy. You're going to have to upset a small amount. I don't think it's worth it.
No,
as much as
not.
I'd love it, if I were in their position, I would be pissed.
Yep. Thanks for reminding me about Merrick's drum. That boils my blood.
I've already got that stuff. So,
but they released it like don't do that. Like those are perfect.
Did they re-release the drum, or was it the speaking trumpet? It was one of them.
Either one, and it was terrible. I would be really furious if they also did the figurehead, but still, don't do that.
No, we should move on before any of us get annoyed.
Yeah, indeed.
actually, you know what? I will say this before we do move on. The drum and the speaking trumpet are the worst because they were introduced in that update as well. So why did you bring it back? That was a special thing for everyone to have.
It was such an amazing update as well, having to find another crew, play the song, and go to a certain part of the map while you're all playing it, and then it spawns and you're all like, oh fuck, there's a big ass megalodon, and then you defeat it and you're like, what?
My favourite bit was when all your tattoos start glowing when you know
I don't even remember that.
Oh, it was
yeah.
amazing.
I probably didn't have tattoos on, to be fair.
Well, you can't see yourself either, so unless
True.
you've got tattoos in your hands.
No, I remember when it spawned in, I was in the water because I fell off my ship.
Gotcha.
Oh,
and
terrifying.
I screamed because I was like 15. So I screamed. I was like, it was a pure scream, a scream of fear.
You're making me feel old now, because when Sea of Thieves came out, I was 19. Yeah, 19, almost 20. So, yeah,
Damn.
that makes me feel old. Blubber, do you want to tell the folks how old you were when Hungering Deep came out?
No, I was still getting laid on a regular basis then. So,
so you were 54 then. Okay,
I'm not going to tell my age.
Yeah, just swiftly moving on. Okay, I'll let you lead with this when I finish the question concepts. The season pass, plunder pass, and Emporium. Are the items good? Is there enough cosmetics this season? You start.
This season isn't bad in terms of plunder pass, but I think it's ultimately not great. I like the fact that there's so many free items. And there's not much emphasis on, you have to purchase it. That's great. Everyone would love that. Everyone loves that. But I think definitely, what would you get for purchasing it? A ship set, which eventually will come out in the Emporium. Why don't they make stuff in the Plunder Pass exclusive? Like, I'm pretty sure every other game does that. I'm pretty sure every game, Apex Legends, for example, once you get that tier 100 weapon or whatever, that's gone. That's gone. No one's getting it anymore. Why don't they do that? And I think specifically for this season, Plunder Pass, like Premium Plunder Pass tier 1, you get the costume. Then at 50, you get the tier 2 of the costume. At 100, you get tier 3. That's cool. But I think what they should have done, pardon me, is give you the costume at tier 100, then give you more trials and specific challenges which you have to do to then upgrade the costume to tier 3. That gives you more reason to keep playing at tier 100, which a lot of people just get tier 100 and they're like, right, peace, see you next season. It gives people that reason to be like, okay, now I've got to go and do this, this, and this. I don't bloody know what you could do. But I think once you reach 100, there needs to be additional stuff rather than you just hit 100 and then you're done.
So,
but yeah, I think the cosmetics are okay. I'm not happy with the Pirate Legend cosmetics this season. Jesus Christ, they were terrible. The Grim jacket. What? Why? Just that's the only question I have is why.
Well, maybe it has some hidden features like one of the spyglass. We don't know yet.
Oh no! See, I was browsing Ray's channel. No, not Ray's channel. I was looking in your Discord in your videos channel, and I see 2 videos about Wanda's thing. And I did, obviously, it was literally as I joined the server, so I didn't have time to watch it. That's interesting. I don't know what it's about. And as you've just mentioned, Wonder Spyglass has some secret stuff. So that's cool. I didn't know that.
I can confirm that whatever you really need to watch the video and give it a like. But whatever it is, I'll tell you, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. Sorry. You can see ghosts how they truly were. So if you look at Spyglass with ghostly figures, like in the Tavern of the Damned, in the Tavern of the Damned or in the Spy Legendary Hideout, you can see them with more color. And a lot of people were debating if this was intentional, and Mike Chapman,
I would say so.
Confirm it was. Yeah, it is intentional.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it has more features, but I think why Grimm's jacket? If anything, couldn't they have added all of the Ashen Lords as purchasable cosmetics and given us like
season 6?
I don't know. Maybe they. I mean, yeah, but like maybe for tier 100 they gave us, the Pirate Lord's staff walking stick thing he has as a damn sword. I don't know. Right, I'm not a concept artist, but I don't know. I think. And Merrick's Tankard, it's super cool, very cool. I have to give them commendations for that. But come on, compared to the other stuff we've had,
that's true.
Yeah, I think with to sort of capitalize on your point there, and I'm not defending Rare in any way because I do
No,
have
of
some
course.
critiques about this. Obviously, they're theming now from going on, which I do like, is they're going to have items from legendary pirates. So obviously, we had
Yeah.
Brixie's Cutlass, Wanda's
Yeah.
Spyglass, Merrick's Tankard, and now Grimm's Jacket.
I guess that
So
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, so Grimm's Jacket is the first sleeveless jacket we've had in a very long time, if not the only one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True. That's kind of cool.
The issue that comes from here, which you actually touched on, was there's only two, which, I know they're unique items.
Yeah, there is only two. Jesus. Yeah.
But in season 1 and 2, I think we had 4 at least, or 4 or 5. So before they were obviously ripped from NPCs, or in the case of the Curse, which was a really sweet level 100 item.
Yeah.
They've gone higher effort, but there's less of it. I think Pirate Legends, they don't have to have unique items like based off of legendary pirates, but you need at least 4. 5 is like sweet spot. 6 would be generous.
Yeah.
If this season, what they should have done was every 25 levels is each of the Ashen Lord's jackets.
Yeah.
To keep the theming, it doesn't really matter with Buried Treasure, because if they're just sticking with this legendary pirate thing, 4 Ashen Lord jackets would be a really good theme for Pirate
true.
Legends. Because now it's like we've got Grimm's Jacket, when's Old Horatio's, when's Orangey's, when's Red Roof coming, because we know they're now going to be made, or at least items of theirs. So why not just release them all together?
Yeah, and then on top of that, what I said earlier, what if you give them challenges to then upgrade the jacket and make it glow, or I don't know. I think there's so many things that they could do that they just either don't see, or they see it and don't have enough resources, or it's just not what they're interested in, I guess. And as developers of their own game, fair enough. Like, do what you want with the game, man. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to make your game. But I think there are definitely opportunities which they miss out on. And if they just noticed it, or maybe they do notice it, I don't know. I just think there's so many things that they could do which they don't. And it's quite disappointing.
Before Blubber's obviously going to have an opinion on this, I will jump in on this point of the Plunder Pass. In season 1 and 2, I did bitch at them and say, like, you need to make a Plunder Pass that has a theme, like all the items of a set, like a whole ship set and X amount, whatever. They actually listened to that and done a full
I was going to say, haven't they done that? Yeah.
Yeah, so they do take this on board. It just takes a lot of lead time to implement. So maybe they'll improve that in 6 months after you've made that point. I think they do listen to the podcast, from what I can tell. And they obviously do listen to us as Sea of Thieves partners. Not even just partners, they listen to their community a lot, which I will say is good about them.
Yeah.
But my point was, this Plunder Pass is the best one. One, because you get a full ship set at half the price of what it would have costed, including
I guess so. Yeah.
Including the collector's stuff. You get Sand Angel.
Did you get the collector's stuff?
Yeah, that's included in there.
I didn't
750 ancient coins, and you get the 3 costumes, essentially, which is the best value they've had. This is the level that I expect from this.
Yeah.
And you did mention as well that, why is this not exclusive? Well, your exclusivity with the ship, anyways, that you don't have to pay.
Yeah, no, I guess so.
Line, I guess.
Yeah.
You pay essentially £2.50 if you finish it and get the 750 coins. But Blubber, did you want to add anything to the Plunder Pass season pass debate?
Well, most people know my opinion. Like, I want Renown to go up after 100 and make it so we earn gold and doubloons. No more presents. The gold and doubloons is fine. I do want to touch upon the Plunder Pass because you mentioned that this time it's 750 ancient coins you get if you complete it, and it's 1,000 if you combine it with the 250 from the season reward. But is this gonna be a one-time thing, like, or just because it's December, right, and will be nice?
To be fair,
or
I think the Plunder Pass should pay itself off.
Yes. So I do hope they see, it's successful. More people buy the Plunder Pass now because the value is better. So we're gonna keep it that way. So you always earn 750 Asian coins extra instead of 250.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if that's something they're gonna do, or is it just gonna be for December? So
hopefully it's something they do.
It should be a thing, because you can't give us something and take it away and say, it was Christmas, it was out the goodwill of our hearts. Come on, guys.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get good data from this as well.
Yeah, you can. They gave the Merrick's exclusivity away, so I know it's not past them. So
But money's the issue here. Like that'll piss a lot of people off. Oh, it was 750 last season, and they'll see their sales go down, especially if it's not a full ship set or full set of items. I think the Plunder Pass is the best it's ever been, regardless of what you think of the items.
Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah.
Quickly shuffling onto the Emporium because I'm just conscious of time. Barbosa stuff out of nowhere. Just that was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Money or
because
issues?
maybe that could also be the case. But even if it wasn't, like, it's still smart. I think, like, if you had Barbosa and Jack Sparrow, during season 3, then people will pick one or the other. Now you have the same people that buy costume twice. So
it also allows them to market Disney again.
Yes.
So instead of saying season 3, come, we have Pirates Life Disney collaboration. Now they can say season 5, we're still collaborating with Disney. Come and test out the game if you haven't and didn't do it in season 3. We have more Disney stuff now, even though it's just a Barbosa cosmetic, which you have to pay for. It's still using that Disney name.
Yep.
AKA, give us your fucking money.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, they've admitted the Disney contract is still ongoing, and I understand they're releasing. I reckon what's happened is that Disney took a while to sign off on the design because they'd obviously have to do that. And it just made business sense. So I expect to see more Disney cosmetics in the future. Probably a Pirates Life Part 2. As long as it doesn't interfere with Flameheart's story, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they definitely need to give us some more Flameheart.
Yes, for sure. So just a quick one now, unless anything to add, Blubber, concepts,
nope,
anything?
Just crack on.
Nope.
Keep going.
So how do we feel about season 5 as a whole? Obviously, we've discussed this throughout the podcast, but instead, let's just rank the seasons, just to be concise about it. Concepts, how would you rank the seasons as a whole?
The best season, that would, in my opinion, be the one with Fort of Fortune. Season 1?
Season 2.
Season 2. Season 1 was Merchant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it would go season 1.
Ooh.
Then... No. Season 2. Season 4. Season 1. Season 3. Season 5.
Wow.
Season 3 that low?
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't really give a shit about A Pirate's Life. And then obviously season 5's at the bottom for obvious reasons.
Fair enough. Blubber, how does yours compare to that?
Totally different.
Of course.
My favorite season is season 3 because there's so much new potential. It felt really fresh. And after that, I ranked season 5. It's my second favorite season. Yeah, I knew I was going to get that reaction. But
sorry, I was having a drink. How?
Well, I think long term, like, these additions make the game
long term, yes.
And like with the Siren Shrines, like, we're not gonna do those again. But fireworks, we're always gonna do fireworks from this day forward. Same with Rats and Sitting, we're always gonna have that from this day forward. And the Pirate's Life Tall Tales, even though I really love them and Tall Tales in general, you do them a couple of times and then you never see that content again. Unless you're making a YouTube video about it. So, and these additions stay in the game. And they add, in my experience, a lot to the joy of it.
I mean, if we go in that direction about it, then it would have to be like season 5, season 4, season 3, season 1 or 2. You can switch them around for me. Because if we're talking longevity... Yeah, season 5 has the most longevity of it all, any update that's come out. But the way that I was looking at it is how it is now. Because obviously season 5 right now, that's not providing a whole lot. In the future, hell yes, that can provide so much. But right now, what's it providing? Not a lot. And obviously season 4, people have been asking for a new region. They did that just underwater. They took what they had and was like, you know what? Let's take it underwater now. And I think that added a new dynamic. And obviously it brought the whole thing of leaving your ship and whatnot, which is why no one does it. But I think expanding the map underwater was very good. And it shows that they aren't opposed to expansion in a way. I don't think personally there needs to be a new region. I think they need to develop the current regions, but if there was a new one, the map would just be way too big. It's already hard enough to find people.
Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe
so
when they stop Xbox One support.
I mean,
Hopefully that's soon.
yeah, and obviously they recently reduced ship size, or ship count on the servers from 6
sneakily.
down to 5 again.
I read it in the patch notes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think, yeah, if we're talking longevity, then yeah, the ranking order is completely different. So yeah, I agree with you.
And the rest, Blubber?
Well,
ranking?
rest is not really interesting. I guess 4, and then 2, and then 1. Yeah.
Fair enough. Mine's 4, 3, 2, 1, 5.
4, 3. Yeah, no, I can see that as well. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, 5 just isn't my bag. No offense, Rare. When I saw the trailer, I was like, "This is really cool," and then I was like, "But lore, I want more story." Season 4 was my bag in that I really love the lore from season 4. The only critique I have of season 4, and this I'll just justify with why this is my favorite, is that Rare didn't have the foresight to put a reason to go back down there, especially considering how risky it was. They should have added more loot. They should have added exclusive stuff down there that you can't do anywhere else, and maybe a couple of puzzles that do change each time, something like that, just to give it replayability rather than commendations, which most people don't care about. Treasuries were awesome, much prefer them to forts. No one bothers you at treasuries for some reason. The lore was superb, and the bombshell that Flameheart is actually the warrior, or implied that he's the warrior, was awesome. It was a good follow-up to season 3's Tall Tale 2. Yeah, I can't really criticize it apart from the lack of replayability. It was a great season, and the new curse was cool
the risk
as well.
versus reward. It's just there's the reward doesn't justify potentially being sunk and losing your ship and going through all of that for essentially nothing. You go down there and you make as much gold as you would doing gold hoarder digging quests.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So, yeah, I completely agree with what you said.
Fair enough. Thank you. How do you feel about season 5 not in general, but in the longevity? Because this is a 14-week season, which is by far the longest we've had. Which way? How do you feel about it?
As we've been saying throughout the conversation, it's not great. 14 weeks to bury some treasure. Not great. Definitely opens up a lot of potential for the future. As I said earlier, sitting down, fireworks, it kind of adds a movie aspect. Recently I was in a little short movie, I believe you were involved as well, right, Ray?
Yeah, I provided some custom servers.
Yeah,
and I wasn't asked.
It allows that to be achieved with higher standards and quality. It just allows for more immersion, interaction with players, more content creation, more entertainment. And I think, personally, if we're talking complete longevity, the best season they've added.
Ooh.
So,
Blubber?
Yeah, I agree with that. I also agree that it's too long. Like for what we get, it's a long season. It should have been shorter. Yeah.
I think with season 5, the player base will be at the lowest it has been for the longest time.
Definitely.
It has been after a Pirate's Life drop. We can sort of infer that from, taking the Steam data and extrapolating. That's fine. I just feel this is the deadest
expected anyway.
This is the deadest Sea of Thieves has been, both for my channel and just overall feel. I don't feel any real buzz, mainly because how the seasons are marketed.
Yeah.
In January, when everyone comes back from Christmas break, we need to start dropping the teasers like we did with Duke, because that got people excited. And January was popping for Sea of Thieves.
Agreed.
But unless Rare do what they do usually with seasons and don't say anything till the week before, this game is going to be so quiet in a month or two's time, especially with a 14-week season. And we're going to start seeing the pundits and the content creators and the Redditors say this is a big content drought. Mark my words.
I'm
I'm putting my hat on the line.
All
I do
you have to
apologize,
do
Rare.
is go and look at the graphs. For every Sea of Thieves content creator, the graph is going to be relatively the same in terms of peaks and troughs. It's literally... I compared my channel to, I believe it was Falcor. Our graph, aside from his overall views being higher than me, was almost identical, because his views were going up on days where my views went up. And that wasn't because we were uploading videos. It was just pure, like, what would you call it? Interest in the game, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is definitely going to be the roughest period for Sea of Thieves. And it's the reason why I've now got a part-time job, because I can't provide for myself purely off of YouTube anymore. I was doing 800k views a month, and now I've done 300, and it's great still, and I love it. I'm actually enjoying creating content now more than ever. But I just think it's a shame that this season is so lackluster in terms of content. It's more, yeah, that's just me. That's my point.
Just to keep it concise, full disclosure for viewers, this is on a different thing. My YouTube channel has done the worst it's ever. It's literally getting close to Gears. When I did Gears content, actually, no, that's not true. But January, when I first started picking up last year, I'm doing better then. Now I can probably struggle to get 10k views in a day. I know that's a lot for some people, but when...
No, I'm with you on that. Same position.
Yeah, same position. I know if you're like Falcor or Fuzzy, you'll hit those easy because you've got 100k subscribers. But I think we've had a discussion as Sea of Thieves creators that interest on YouTube is an all-time low for Sea of Thieves. Blubber, you probably disagree because your videos still do really well. But
considering my channel size, they do well. But I also have different goals compared to you guys. Like, this is not my living. I don't really make money. It's my hobby. It's my creative outlet.
Keep it that way. That's my advice.
It's better for your mental health too.
Don't go right into it.
For me, it's not the money because I have a full-time job anyway. I don't rely on my YouTube income. I'm lucky in that sense, but the growth is really what it motivates me, in seeing people engage and get excited about Sea of Thieves. I know that sounds cliche. Obviously, I don't say, oh no, YouTube don't pay me for my ad revenue. That would be daft. I'm not lying to you in that regard, but seeing sub count goes up and views hit milestones, that's what motivates me. And when you're putting in X amount of hours and YouTube is like, oh, no one gives a fuck about Sea of Thieves, I'm not going to push your video, your content
it makes it very hard to want to, even as much as you love it, it makes it very difficult. And I just want to agree with you in the fact that I was doing 15 to 20k views a day. Now I hit about 7. So I'm with you on that.
Again, we didn't keep it concise. I'm a big fat liar. So
no, we did. That was like 10 minutes.
That was 10 minutes. To one point.
Shit, that was 10 minutes.
It'll be interesting to see in February at the end of the season, because the next season won't be out until March, just based on my calculations, how low the views are going to go now. Season 5 might prove me wrong. Please do. But it's not about views. It's about overall keeping the game alive. Sea of Thieves thrives. We all thrive. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah,
Blubber, have we got time for some viewer questions?
Well, we don't, but we'll do them anyways.
Oh, fuck it. We've already gone way over. Why not just go even more over, you know? It's like when you're late for school. You're already late. Fine. Let's just be later.
I'll put some extra ads in it. Don't worry.
Yeah, extra ads. Get those mid-rolls.
Pick the best questions, Blubber. How many do we have? 4?
No. The 4, they're all good. It's fair for my subscribers that post their questions, so let's do all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our first question comes from Anders X10. What do you think is the current ship meta, and how does the cannon rowboat affect it in your opinion?
I'll let Ray take this first.
The ship meta is shit on people with not curse cannonballs, chain shots. Doesn't matter, you don't have to be accurate with them. Get the mast down, hit them with curse cannonballs and blunder bombs, you can't do anything. Cannon rowboat will not affect this at all.
Yeah, kind of touched on it as well. Like, one of the most important things in naval combat is keeping your angle. That guy on the wheel is in my opinion, really valuable. The cannon rowboat is going to be situational. Like, if you can hop on as a helmsman, whenever the opportunity strikes, you should do so. but it's going to be situational.
If we're talking ship meta, are we on about what ship reigns supreme?
What the naval
Or-
combat is meta, as I interpreted that.
Okay, then I guess the current meta in naval combat, it depends obviously what ship you're on, right? When I'm duo slooping, the meta is simply I will board and the other person will stay on the ship. I think the meta is being on the enemy's boat. If you're not on their boat, then they're going to have free reign to repair. Even if you're spamming them with blunder bombs, not having the ability to disrupt them face to face and apply that pressure drastically changes the fight. So I think the meta is chain them, whatever, or just get someone aboard to completely mess with them, whether they're just shooting them and then jumping off their boat, grabbing ladder again, ladder baiting them, but meanwhile you're hammering them with holes. Then what can they do? They've now got to focus on a threat in their face as well as a threat being your ship. So that's what I would say the meta is.
Yeah, and how does a cannon rowboat affect that?
How does cannon rowboat affect that? I guess if the only time it's really useful, you've immobilized a ship, it's mast down, anchored, and you're just circling it like a damn shark. Having that extra cannon will ensure that the sink happens faster. But I think personally, it won't make a huge difference, and you'll not really find yourself using it that often, especially when it's docked. But I guess if you're using it in a naval fight and you get someone dropping off on the rowboat to hit them from one side while you're on the other side of their boat, then I guess yeah, it could have some use. But being docked, I think it will see little to no use in fights.
Awesome. Blubber, next question. Let's move on.
Yep, it comes from Ewash. How would you improve the burying system? And I will take this first because I thought about this. Obviously, there should be a bit more rewards for long-time players, like a little bit of gold or, getting up in your emissary ledgers instead of just, giving reputation and renown. But I also thought about a special type of chest you can bury, and the longer it stays buried, the more value it will get when you dig it up. But everybody has a map to that chest. So that would be a cool improvement for the system. And then you have one of those special chests per server per crew, and that's another idea that was floating around in my head.
Fair enough. Concepts?
Personally, I have no idea. I have no idea how I'd improve the burying system. I think it's done in a way that that's good. If you bury loot, right, and then just log off, your map gets posted to the board, right?
No, you have to go to the board.
You have to go and post it.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, maybe allowing your map to be washed up on shore.
That's good.
In like
Give
a
it
bottle.
to a mermaid.
Maybe like so you can just bury it at an island, hit exit to desktop, whatever, and then it washes up at an island, not just on the quest board. I don't know. Maybe that's the only thing, but other than that, I think the burying system's been done very well.
Cool. I have a quick idea that I just want to plug here. For the burying quest, imagine if you could get an item from Gold Hoarder, Merchant Alliance, or Order of Souls, and it's a high value loot item. Sorry. You could bury
like
that.
Stronghold stuff.
Something like that, but it starts off low value to you. You can go bury it, and the longer it's buried, the more it increases in value, and you get told by like a bar or
Isn't
like a
that
timer or
essentially
something.
what Blubber said? Isn't that essentially what Blubber said?
I'm just waiting on his twist.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, and instead of having a map, right, when it's in the ground, it will have a beacon similar to the chest you find in the arena. And you can't turn that in until a certain amount of time has gone past, but other players can do it straight away and they get the full value. So it gives something for you that you can defend, and the value
so what,
increases.
kind of like a King of the Hill thing?
Yeah, like that's your chest and you defend it. once time's up, you can go cash it in for the max.
That's
but
cool.
other players, if they dig it up, even the moment it's planted, they get the full value if they turn it in.
I like that idea.
And obviously it's a beacon, so people don't have to, oh shit, I got a map for that. It's always on the map, like a Reaper's chest essentially, or the arena chest or a beacon.
That is a really cool idea. Well done. I applaud you.
Thank you.
Wow, it's just my idea only with a beacon. I don't know.
No, it gives that kind of King of the Hill vibe, you know. You got to defend
it's nice.
your loot.
It's nice. I would like that too.
Next question.
Next question comes from Benabel. I use fireworks to signal to other ships that I'm friendly and want to talk, not fight. And I've started to convince others to use fireworks in the same way. Do you think fireworks have potential to become a system of communicating between ships? And which rocket should be the I want to talk rocket?
I mean, believe it or not, we actually spoke about that earlier, didn't we?
Yes, we did touch on this, and I agree with Benabel. Like I've given my examples of defeating Flameo together and signal that you're still friendly and stuff like that. I don't think there should be a specific rocket saying we are friendly. Maybe the white flare. I don't really know. It's up to players to decide what fireworks they use. But I agree with Benabel.
Yeah, I completely agree as well. Yeah.
I also agree, Benabel. Thanks for your question again, mate. Next question, please, Blubber.
Speak R. He asks us, how do you think Rare should expand Athena's fortune? It's not really about the season, but a nice question nonetheless.
Do I think so? Yes. Do I have an idea? No.
How?
I'm bloody no. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not getting paid for this.
I'm not the concept artist or the game developer. I have no idea how they can improve the Athena's fortune. I mean, more voyages, yeah, but I feel like Thieves Haven run already replaced the Athena voyage. No one does Athena voyages because you can just go and do Thieves Haven runs. Yeah, I have literally no idea. I mean, maybe make something more lore-based, but as we've found out, I know nothing about the lore, so I have no idea what kind of lore voyage they could do. Just add more stuff. That's literally all I can say.
I think the Pirate Legends should definitely get their own tall tale, like full-on story tall tale that expands. Ramsey's story. Well,
yeah,
not really.
Yeah,
not really going.
Maybe
into
like a before the maiden
that.
Voyage thing. How he found the Sea of Thieves.
Well, there's a novel explaining that, but maybe.
Yeah, but you kind of go along with it. I don't know.
We've seen in the Fort of Damned that he can, sail across memories of different people, and why not sail across memories of the Pirate Lord and finally figure out why he has 3 daggers in his bag, because we still don't know that, and the tall tale could be about that.
That's the one lore video I have done, actually. Lore on the Pirate Lord.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I have a multiple point program, Blubber, Tall Tale campaign, so at least 5 Tall Tales about Ramsey and how he became cursed. Some new cosmetics, as in like a lot of sets that you have to be Pirate Legend that are already expensive. Dark Adventure was a good first step. A new voyage for them, and the most controversial one would be exclusive access to the Sea of the Damned. So like a map expansion through a portal with a sort of region there that you have to use a portal to go. And obviously, actually, the last one, Captaincy Update, is an absolute must. Exclusive Pirate Legend only. I don't care about the new players. I can't afford 5 million to buy a new ship. You will grind for that, and you will earn your Captaincy Update. I didn't wait 4 years for this.
I want to touch on your point, but I'll try and keep it short. The Sea of the Damned would be cool if you could go there and it was like a hub. You know, when you go into a Minecraft server and you're in a hub and there's just a bunch of you just go there. There's PvP disabled. You're not allowed to be there for long. I don't know how they'd manage it, but you can go there, see people from all kinds of servers. I know it would be so hard to make it a thing, but you go there, it's passive, you engage, you tell stories, you drink, you play mini games, and then your time's up or whatever, and you go back to the seas. I think adding something like that would be like a passive outpost would be great, but it would have to be heavily managed.
You could do it with Sailor's Grave and everyone be ghosts. That's why you can't harm each other, because you're all
Yeah.
Ghosts. That's
True.
what I would use Sailor's Grave again for.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Anything to add, Blubber?
No, I like those ideas. Not temporary hub, not really, but a Sea of the Damned only for Pirate Legends. I kind of like that idea. Yeah.
I think it's fair. You know, there's a lot of Pirate Legends now, and if you I can't get access to the new
If
Sea
you-
of the Damned cosmetics, we'll just play for 10 hours and you'll have
I mean,
it.
yeah,
You know,
literally.
it's
If
that
you're not
easy.
Pirate Legend, then go and put up your emissary and do world events, and you'll be there in a week.
Yeah, true.
Last question comes from SGM Jammed. I'd love to see the Sea of Thieves economy expanded. I was thinking they could add a marketplace where people can trade in-game items for gold. This would mean adding more exclusive items.
One, I don't know how that would work. It'd be, what would it be? How would you? I have no idea.
Well, I don't know. Like I can. You said I missed the head. I don't think I missed the head, but I did miss an eye patch, the ruby eye patch. And if someone
Yeah,
were to
same.
offer that to me for 1,000,000 gold, I'd pay
I
1,000,000.
guess. I guess. But I don't. Fuck. Sorry. Wait, Ray. You go.
So that's a good idea in concept. I think you could simplify it by using it with in-game like loot. So like if I'm a gold hoarder and I've picked up skulls, maybe it's best to trade my skulls for gold hoarder stuff just to get the most out of my emissary. But circling back to your point quickly about the in-game items, it's good in concept, but there's also things that you couldn't put a price on. Like I would not sell my what's it called?
Brave Vanguard.
My Vanguard sales for 1 billion gold is not worth it because you just can't get any more. Or any exclusive.
You'd have to
items
make
would
some
be-
things untradeable.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, not untradeable, but I suppose the economy would regulate itself in this one. But like people would hike the prices for exclusive items, but some silly people would be like, "Oh, I don't want that ruby eye patch. I want dark adventurous stuff. I'll do it for 10 mil." But so that's a sort of good idea. But you know, no one's going to be selling like Sea of Champions sales or NAL sales, are they? Because they're priceless.
I mean,
Wait,
I'll also-
whoa! They're doing it online. Like, there's a lot of thousands of dollars for accounts with those sales.
But
Also
that's-
against TOS.
Obviously,
Of course,
against
it's yes,
TOS.
it's completely legal. But you shouldn't do that. But it happens, and if you can make it legit for gold, in-game gold, not real
I think
money.
it adds in the system of flipping items, so you can now make gold without even leaving the outpost just by selling stuff and relisting it for hire. So I think it has impact. It has potential to impact the economy in a way we've never seen. I think yes, like what Ray said, it's a very good concept and a very good idea, and I think it could genuinely add a lot of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a good idea, but I think it. Don't know how it would work. It would have to be tested heavily.
Imagine like, because you're Sea of Thieves partner, you've got loads of Obsidian 6-packs. I'm like,
oh my
shit.
god!
I'd be like, oh shit, oh fuck, I haven't got enough gold to buy all the new
selling
cosmetics.
Obsidian 6-pack for
Tell
10
you what,
mil.
Tell you what, in the store, I'll sell my Obsidian Eye of Reach for 1 billion gold. Someone would pay that because it's got it, and I could just go, oh yeah, can I have another Obsidian 6-pack?
Literally, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's an extreme point. But it's awesome concept.
You probably lose your partnership because they'd be like, "Why are you asking for so many? What are you doing?"
I mean,
why do you need another one? Why do you need another one? Why do you need another one?
Yeah, but I just use one that we get each week.
Oh, what you'd say that you were a winner of the giveaway? You'd put your own name into the what's it, Google Sheets or whatever it is.
Keep on selling it every week.
Your account's got over 60 billion gold on there. Yeah, I own everything else. I just don't have a City United reach each week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get this wrapped up because we've gone way over time, but it's been a good discussion. So with that, we've come to the end of this podcast episode. I would like to thank Sea of Concepts for being absolutely amazing and joining us today.
Cool.
And can you tell our listeners where they can find you, please?
Don't mind me just eating a Kinder Bueno. I ate paper as well. What the hell? I had the wrapper in my mouth.
I've never heard of that social before.
No, my socials, okay. You can mainly find me on YouTube at Sea Concepts. I sometimes stream when I get the spare time, also at Sea Concepts. Yeah, you'll find me active on Twitter occasionally, also Sea of Concepts. But yeah, feel free if you're into guides. I have a lot of game show ideas coming out on my YouTube, sort of as I've described it to my friends, Mr. Beast-esque. So if that's the kind of content you're into and you want to see some more stuff like that, then swing by. Give me a sub.
Awesome. Thanks. So that's something to wet your whistle there, folks. Obviously, go and watch his channel. Watch his guys, give him a like, show him some love. And obviously, I also want to thank my co-host, Captain Blubber. And where can the listeners find your content, Captain Blubber?
Well, yeah, that's pretty easy. You can find me on YouTube at Captain Blubber. Just type it in. You will find me. There's also a chance you're listening to this podcast on Spotify or something else where you can listen to podcasts of. If you do, go to YouTube, type it in. You'll find me.
We're on Spotify.
Well, Ray is working on it.
Hell yeah.
Either way, if you listen to this on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, make sure to leave a like. There's also a link to the Salty Hippo Discord. That's my Discord. If you want it, just click the link and you'll be there. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, my glorious co-host. And finally, you can find me at www.myspace.com/ShinyRay. You'll find all the good Shiny Ray content there. So thanks for listening. Let us know how you feel about Season 5 in the comments. Are you happy with all these new additions, or do you feel a bit disappointed like me? Let us know down below. So that's it. Thanks again, drink some grog, shoot some fireworks, and have an amazing day.
All right, thanks for watching. Take care.
See you in a bit, guys. Remember, hit subscribe, turn those notifications on, and I'll give you a kiss. Thank you.